to have a couple days off of work, so I decided to head out to Marianna in Jackson County, Florida, and get some footage shot of some of the local scenery. So we got some rain clouds up above, so I'm going to keep my eye on that. But in the meantime, let's go try to shoot some footage and see if we can get some breaks from the rain. All right, let's go take a look. Well, the rain does not appear to want to give me an opportunity to capture much footage today, so I got what I got. I'm excited to get back into the studio and see what I can make of this footage. This was all shot today on the Canon XF400, both handheld and tripod, using the onboard microphone. So it's also a test of the audio quality as well. So I just felt the first raindrop. It's time to pack her up and head home. So we're back in the studio. We took a look at the footage we shot, and just for starters, I just want to say that the Canon XF400 did excellent. This was the first actual, I guess what you could call like off-site video footage that I used the camera for. I went out and took some river footage in the next town over here where I live, in Marianna, and was very pleased with how the Canon XF400 performed. Um, there were a couple things that I do want to make a comment about that I found interesting. First off, and this is on me, is the footage is a little stuttery or not as smooth as it could be, and that's because I need to be better with my gear. The tripod was not quite as fluid as I would have liked it to be, and there's parts in the video where as I'm panning I speed up or I slow down, or I'm not getting a real smooth pan and it kind of stutters a little bit. That can be corrected with me either learning how to use my tripod a little better or buying a better fluid head to go mount onto a tripod. Not to say there's anything wrong with the one I have, but I just got it. I just got the tripod, so I'm still, I'm still working on mastering, its functionality. I mean, it's a tripod. How hard are you going to be? Well, I'm out there and I'm shooting, and I have it mainly set up for the studio where it is stationary. It doesn't move, and I think the knob was too tight. So anyway, that's something that stood out in the footage to me, and that was all on me. The clip right before this part is where I'm sort of signing off out in the field, where you can see the rain clouds are the dark rain clouds are coming in. So I'm calling an end to the shoot, and you can see the camera's hunting for focus. Now, it was dark, the exposure was a little low, and I really didn't have anything defined on the camera to focus on. What I probably should have done there is go to manual focus and pick the spot and focus that, or touch something on the screen to get focus. So I didn't have focus peaking on. I didn't have any tools to show me that I was out of focus or the camera was hunting for focus. Now, it was starting to rain, so I really wasn't really concerned about getting the shot. It was more or less me showing you guys why the video was ending at that point. But still, it's something to note. The camera was hunting focus, and I don't know that I've ever had that problem with the Vixia HF-G60. It has been in similar circumstances. In darker weather, rain clouds, and I don't remember the G60 ever hunting focus like that. I have noticed that with this camera. If you don't have the exposure right and it's darker out, it will hunt for focus. All cameras will do that, but I've just noticed that the XF400 seems to do it a little more rapidly than the G60 will. Now, I can adjust some settings on the autofocus functionality on the camera to get better settings, so I will do some working on that. But for right now, you guys saw that footage where it started to hunt. And thirdly, this is the last thing I'm going to comment on. I was shooting clips that were at the beginning of the video. My intro, basically announcing where I was and explaining what I was doing. A bunch of the clips, I did multiple takes. The one you see in the video is the only one that came out. All the not to the other ones that I shot, the framing wasn't right or the level wasn't right or this. They didn't record. I got a recording error on the camera while I was recording, which was very weird. I've never gotten anything like that on the HF-G60. Now, the memory cards that are in my G60, I bought those. The memory card that is in the XF400 came with the camera when I bought it. So while I reformatted it when I first got this camera, it is a used memory card that I have no idea how it was used prior to it coming into my ownership. So there's that. That's very disheartening, but I can't fault the camera for that because this memory card might have been the issue. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the memory cards out of the G60 because I'm not really using the G60 all that much. I've used it for a couple of videos to do side-by-side comparisons between the G60 and the XF400. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the memory cards out of the G60, put them in the XF400 because the XF400 is my primary camera now. After today, even though these couple things that I've mentioned, none of that detracts from the phenomenal camera that the XF400 truly is. It's a joy to work with. This is a monster camera. So I'm kind of getting away from the point I was making about the memory card, but the handheld footage is it's unlike anything I can get on the G60. That was one of my biggest gripes with the G60 is that the handheld stabilization still is not what I would want it to be for a camera of that price. The G50, it was a sub $1,000 camera. I would expect the stabilization to be what it is on the G50. The G60 was significantly more, and the stabilization was only a little bit better. In my opinion, it still was not acceptable for a camera in that price range. The XF400 is more like what I was hoping for in both the G50 and the G60. And I'm just being honest there. I think the stabilization is poor in the 60 and the G60 and the G50. That's just how I feel. If it's a camcorder, stabilization should be the #1 priority. And if you're going to be doing handheld shots with a camcorder, your stabilization should be, in my opinion, the most important facet of that camera. With my Sony FDR AX53, stabilization in that is out of this world. So, I mean, that's a sub $1,000 camcorder. Anyway, back to the memory card. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the memory cards out of my G60, put them in the XF400, and then take this camera out again, like I did today, and do another test. It is July 4th weekend. Now there's rain in the forecast every day, so we're rained in right now. We're probably gonna be rained in for most of the weekend, but I do plan on attempting to get out and shooting more footage with this camera over the course of the next couple days. So yeah, despite those couple of things that I just mentioned, the XF400, the footage that come off of it is it's where I was hoping to be. When I first went out looking for an upgrade to the G60 about 2-3 months ago, I was looking for a camera that could shoot in 4K 60 frames per second and 1080p at 120 frames per second. This is that camera. I didn't do any 60p shooting today. I could have, I probably should have, but again, I was more or less this was my first time out with the camera. I'm still trying to make sure that I'm not the reason why the camera is going to not do what I need it to do. And that was evident today. There's a couple things that I could have improved on as a videographer that would have improved the footage that the camera captured. Anyway, really good stuff with this camera. It is an excellent value at what I paid for it used on eBay. So I think I've said this in a video that I made a couple videos prior to this one. So what they charge for this, brand new, I don't think the camera's worth that. What I paid for this camera with 3 batteries and 2 wall chargers, I think that's what the camera should be, brand new. So I don't have anything more to add at this time other than to say that the Canon XF400 really has me excited about what I can do with it in the future. I'm looking forward to the footage that comes off of this every time I hit record, and I hope you guys are able to appreciate what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help you guys see if you're in either the G50 or the G60 line, at kind of that prosumer line. You're able to see that the XF400 is a professional grade camcorder, which is really what I was hoping all along. And this really is a great buy for someone that is looking to take their video editing and shooting capabilities to the next level. This is a next level camera for sure. Alright, so if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, or you can always email me at bbuck822@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you all have a happy, wonderful, and safe July 4th holiday weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye bye now.